You all did such a great job working today. I'm so proud of you. That's a great way to start off the week. It's story time. Today we are going to read Caps for Sale. Let's get started. Once there was a peddler who sold caps, but he was not like an ordinary peddler carrying his wares on his back. He carried them on top of his head. First, he had his own checked cap, then a bunch of gray caps, then a bunch of brown caps, then a bunch of blue caps, and on the very top, a bunch of red caps. It must be very hard to balance all of that on your head. He walked up and down the streets, holding himself very straight so as not to upset his caps. As he went along, he called, "Caps! Caps for sale! 50 cents a cap!" One morning, he couldn't sell any caps. He walked up the street, he walked down the street calling, "Caps! Caps for sale! 50 cents a cap!" But nobody wanted any caps that morning. Nobody even wanted a red cap. He began to feel very hungry, but he had no money for lunch. "I think I'll go for a walk in the country," said he, and he walked out of town slowly, so as not to upset his caps. Look at him leaving. He walked for a long time until he came to a great big tree. "That's a nice place for a rest," thought he. And he sat down very slowly under the tree and leaned back little by little against the tree trunk so as not to disturb the caps on his head. Then he put up his hand to feel if they were straight. First his own checked cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, then the red caps on the very top. Do you think he could have reached all the way up there to those red caps? He must have very long arms. They were all there, so he went to sleep. I wonder what's going to happen while he's sleeping. He slept for a long time. When he woke up, he was refreshed and rested. What's happening? What's going on here? What's happened? But before standing up, he felt his hand to make sure his caps were in the right place. All he felt was his own checked cap. I wonder what could have happened. Let's find out. He looked to the right. He looked to the left. No caps. He looked in the back of him. He looked behind the tree. No caps. Then he looked up into the tree, and what do you think he saw? I wonder what he could have seen. On every branch sat a monkey. On every monkey was a gray or a brown or a blue or a red cap. Look at all the monkeys. They stole his caps. The peddler looked at the monkeys. The monkeys looked at the peddler. He didn't know what to do. Finally, he spoke to them. Let's see what he says. "You monkeys, you," he said, shaking a finger at them, "you give me back my caps." But the monkeys only shook their fingers back at him and said, "Tss, tss, tss, tss." This made the peddler angry, so he shook both hands and said, "You monkeys, you give me back my caps." But the monkeys only shook both their hands back at him and said, "Tss, tss, tss, tss." Do you think they're making fun of him? I think they are. Now he felt quite angry and stamped his foot and said, "You monkeys, you better give me back my caps." But the monkeys only stamped their feet back at him and said, "Tss, tss, tss." By this time, the peddler was really very, very angry. Look at how angry he's getting. He stamped both his feet and shouted, "You monkeys, you! You must give me back my caps!" But the monkeys only stamped both their feet back at him and said, "Tss, tss, tss." At last, he became so angry that he pulled off his own cap, threw it to the ground, and began to walk away. Oh no, he gave up his own cap. He must be so angry. By then, each monkey pulled off their caps, and all the gray caps, and all the brown caps, and all the blue caps, and all the red caps came flying down out of the tree. So the peddler picked up his caps and put them back on his head. First his own checked cap, then the gray caps, then the brown caps, then the blue caps, then the red caps on the very, very top. And slowly, slowly, he walked back to town calling, "Caps! Caps for sale! 50 cents a cap!" The end. That was a fun book. The monkeys were copying him. If he had just thrown his cap down in the very beginning, they would have done the same. Well, we all know it's not very nice to take things that aren't ours and to copy people. Okay, great job today, everyone. See you tomorrow.